Welcome to our YouTube channel. In this video, I would explain the term contingent contract. Keep watching till end to understand this important legal topic. Like, share and subscribe our channel for more videos on variety of legal topics. Thank you. Honorable Islamabad High Court held in regular first appeal number 70 of 2013 Bashir Ahmad vs Muhammad Isa and others. Only those agreements are enforceable by law under the Act of 1877, which entail specific, exact and complete details of the land property, coupled with the consideration, while a contingent contract cannot be enforced by law until the event has happened. Supreme Court of Pakistan on Contingent Contract. Section 32 of the Contract Act, 1872 provides as to how contingent contracts are enforceable in law. The law allows enforcement of a contingent contract after the event upon which OT was contingent has happened. In order to seek enforcement of a contingent contract, the party suing to enforce an obligation, which is conditioned upon the occurrence of an event, has only to establish that the event has occurred in a manner contemplated by the contract for the obligation to arise. 2012 SCMR 345. Under Section 31 of the Contract Act, 1872, contingent contracts are defined as follows. If two or more parties enter into a contract to do or not do something, if an event which is collateral to the contract does or does not happen, then it is a contingent contract. Contingent contracts are the ones where the promisor performs his obligation only when certain conditions are met. Depends on happening or non-happening of a certain event. The contract is contingent on the happening or the non-happening of a certain event. These said events can be precedent or subsequent, this will not matter. Say for example a promises to pay ₹5,000 if the Tesgam Express reaches Karachi on time. This is a contingent event. Essentials of contingent contract. The event is collateral to the contract. It is important that the event is not a part of the contract. It cannot be the performance promised or a consideration for a promise. P enters into a contract with J and promises to deliver 5 television sets to him. J promises to pay him ₹75,000 upon delivery. This is not a contingent contract since J's obligation depends on the event which is a part of the contract delivery of TV sets and not a collateral event. The event should not be a mere will of the promisor. The event cannot be a wish of the promisor. Say for example P promises to pay J ₹5,000 if Argentina wins the FIFA World Cup provided he wants to. This is not a contingent contract. Actually, this is not a contract at all. P promises to pay J ₹50,000 if he leaves Karachi for Dubai on March 10, 2023. This is a contingent contract. Going to Dubai can be within J's will but is not merely his will. The event should be uncertain. If the event is sure to happen, then the contract is due to be performed. This is not a contingent contract. The event should be uncertain. A promises to pay ₹500 if it rains in Islamabad in the month of July 2023. This is not a contingent contract because in July rains are almost a certainty in Islamabad. Sections 32 to 36 of the Contract Act, 1872 provide certain rules for the enforcement of a contingent contract. Rule 1. Contracts contingent on the happening of an event. A contingent contract might be based on the happening of an uncertain future event. In such cases, the promisor is liable to do or not do something if the event happens. However, the contract cannot be enforced by law unless the event takes place. If the happening of the event becomes impossible, then the contingent contract is void. This rule is specified in Section 32 of the Contract Act, 1872. Rule 2. Contracts contingent on an event not happening. A contingent contract might be based on the non-happening of an uncertain future event. In such cases, the promisor is liable to do or not do something if the event does not happen. However, the contract cannot be enforced by law unless happening of the event becomes impossible. If the event takes place, then the contingent contract is void. This rule is specified in Section 33 of the Contract Act, 1872. Rule 3. Contracts contingent on the conduct of a living person who does something to make the event or conduct impossible of happening. Section 34 of the Contract Act, 1872 states that if a contract is contingent upon how a person will act at a future time, then the event is considered impossible when the person does anything which makes it impossible for the event to happen. Enforcement of Contingent Contract. Rule 4. Contracts contingent on an event happening within a specific time. There can be a contingent contract wherein a party promises to do or not do something if a future uncertain event happens within a fixed time. Such a contract is void if the event does not happen and the time lapses. It is also void if before the time fixed, the happening of the event becomes impossible. This rule is specified in Section 35 of Contract Act, 1872. Enforcement of Contingent Contract. Rule 5. Contracts contingent on an event not happening within a specific time. Contingent contracts might be based on the non-happening of an uncertain future event within a fixed time. In such cases, the promisor is liable to do or not do something if the event does not happen within the said time. The contract can be enforced by law if the fixed time has expired and the event has not happened before the expiry of the time. Also, if it becomes certain that the event will not happen before the time has expired, then it can be enforced by law. This rule is specified in Section 35 of the Contract Act, 1872. Enforcement of Contingent Contract. Rule 6. Contracts contingent on an impossible event. If a contingent contract is based on the happening or non-happening of an impossible event, then such a contract is void. This is regardless of the fact if the parties to the contract are aware of the impossibility or not. This rule is specified in Section 36 of the Contract Act, 1872. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like and share our channel for informative and educational videos on variety of legal topics.